Yeah, and this is kind of why, like, it really, and this is probably something, fundamentally different between basketball and football at the professional level is like, it really probably pays to be a more seasoned college player right before going into the league. Like, in spite of the injury risk, that you take by staying an additional season, I'd much rather, especially if I'm an exec and I'm looking into, these college athletes, I'd much rather go with the senior than the sophomore, right? Because I have 4 years, potentially 5 years of film, with this guy doing what he does, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it just feels like it's more of a known quantity at that point.
Yeah. So let's look at the last couple first round draft picks. Baker Mayfield, walk on at Texas Tech, ended up transferring because Patrick Mahomes took the starting job at Texas Tech, transfers to Oklahoma, earns a scholarship. The rest is history, becomes the Heisman Trophy winner. So he had to overcome adversity, only 6'1", not this highly touted guy out of high school. And then last year, Kyler Murray, first overall draft pick. He didn't start at Texas A&M, transferred to Oklahoma,
Wow.
won the Heisman.
And
Also
didn't Russell Wilson, he has a
6 foot.
similar story,
Yeah, started out
right?
at NC State, and then ended up graduate transfer to Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, that's right.
So
Man.
these are all guys that faced some adversity and kind of went through the mud a little bit to prove themselves as viable options.
Exactly, man. And so now we're really touching on something important here, because earlier we talked about how this quarterback position is one of these positions, of great responsibility, probably the most important individual position in all of team sports, right? And to handle that kind of pressure, right? To be that resilient, to be able to take on such a role for an organization, potentially like a $1 billion franchise, huge fan base. You're gonna have to be a guy that's battle tested, that has character, like strong character
Mm-hmm.
strengths.
Someone who's developed resilience
There you go.
and someone who's developed confidence. So, and you mentioned
Yeah,
$1 billion franchise. Cowboys are worth $4.4 billion. So you're right. These are the face of the franchise. This is your all-star employee right here. You oftentimes will be the reason why the franchise maybe gains in popularity and generates more and more money. Just look at the Chicago Bulls when Michael Jordan was there.
absolutely.
Look at the
Yeah,
Colts and Peyton Manning. He damn
yeah,
near the reason they had built that new stadium. So
yeah,
let's break down these attributes. These
yeah, man.
we've mentioned them before.
So
These 5 attributes.
we did, right? So resilient, confident, mindful, communicator, and passionate.
Yeah.
You know,
So we can't harp on these enough. We've talked about resilient and ad nauseum, but that's someone who owns their mistakes. You learn from your mistakes and you bounce back. And we just mentioned 2 number 1 draft picks that did that, and I think they're on their way to success. Russell Wilson obviously did it as well. People that are confident, someone that carries like a relentlessly positive attitude. You set a high standard of excellence. A lot of
yeah,
times, this involves being someone who's cold-blooded, someone that has the ability to regulate their emotions because they've been in that moment before. They have confidence that they can get the job done.
yeah. I mean, confidence is, to me, we've talked about this before. It's a lot like gratitude. It's one of these rare attributes that it's infectious, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're confident and you're in a group or with the team, that's going to have an effect on the other players around you, right? They're going to feed off of that. It's going to elevate their
Yeah,
game.
absolutely. That confidence is your anchor. When you have confidence, you're going to be able to focus on the task at hand. You're not going to get persuaded or thrown off your game by boos from the crowd or heckling, or maybe you're sick that day. You're not going to get thrown off because you're confident in your skill set and you're going to just be able to focus on what you can control. That's what being confident is, and that's why it leads to better performance.